The festival day was long, filled with competitive games, costume contests, and parent-kid dodgeball. As a community worker, it was fun, yet incredibly draining. Home at last, exhaustion settled in, ready for a quiet evening. Around 6, my phone rang. It was Savannah, my younger sister. Savannah, 15, and Jackson, 11, needed a trick-or-treating escort. Neither their parents nor mine would go, so it fell to me. At my parents' house, Savannah, 15, was still perfecting her raven costume, complete with ghostly white makeup. Jackson, 11, was a ready Sub-Zero. Once ready, we drove to a bustling neighborhood, ensuring they'd collect maximum candy. The streets buzzed with friendly faces and abundant treats. One memorable stop offered hot dogs and sodas, not candy. The older man said he preferred giving kids protein for their bodies. We passed many costumed children, and compliments flowed for my sister and nephew. I also saw some truly impressive outfits. After the last house, we began the 10-minute walk back to the car. The neighborhood had grown quiet, fewer people now. My gaze drifted across the street. In a dark yard, a cloaked figure stood motionless, all in black. I noticed them immediately. Their dark clothing, hooded cloak, and mask obscured their identity completely. They seemed to be watching us. A chill ran through me. "Stay close," I whispered to the kids. "There's a suspicious person. Look, but don't stare." Jackson laughed, but Savannah looked worried. Savannah knew about the Glock in my backpack. My serious tone confirmed her fears. Jackson, unaware, remained playfully clueless. As we walked, the figure across the street seemed to keep watching. The darkness made it hard to be certain. Closer to the car, heavy footsteps pounded concrete behind us. I turned. It was them clearer now. Same all-black outfit, but now a tactical vest, boots, and black pants. A full spandex mask covered their face completely. The situation grew serious. Such attire screams armed. They were definitely following us. My mind raced. I whispered urgently to Savannah and Jackson. "Listen carefully. Don't stop, don't look back. They're behind us." "We don't want to alarm them," I stressed. "Keep your composure and keep walking." Jackson's young eyes needed the clear message. We continued, stealing glances behind us. The person kept pace, maintaining the same unnerving distance. Our car was finally in sight. As we reached the car, they were still approaching. I made my move, pulling out my Glock. I aimed the weapon, demanding to know why we were being followed. They raised their hands, surprised, then slowly removed their mask. It was a woman in her 30s, staring blankly. She didn't answer my question. I pressed again, gun still raised. Her answer was robotic and absurd. "Undercover cop, break-in, you looked at me funny." She threatened arrest. I hesitated but lowered the weapon. Arrest was not an option, especially with the kids. Her story made no sense. Questions flooded my mind. Why stand facing away? How did my look imply a break-in? Her story had too many holes. "If you're undercover," I asked, "why the tactical gear and the cloak?" She just stared, her expression now shifting. A malicious glint entered her eyes, irritated by my disbelief. Then a creepy, unsettling smile spread across her face. "Without that gun," she purred, "this night would have ended a hell of a lot different for you." The kids stayed silent. Just then, 4 figures emerged from between houses, walking towards us. All in tactical gear but without cloaks. "Get in the car." I yelled to Savannah and Jackson, my eyes locked on the approaching group and the smiling woman. Once they were inside, I jumped in and sped away. The woman stood there, still smiling. The other 4, 3 men and 1 woman, were unsmiling. Their faces were blank, emotionless like hollow, soulless masks. The drive home was silent. Shock held us captive. I dropped them off, ensured their safety, then went home. The question echoed, why us? The neighborhood was full of people. Why did they choose us to target? Days later, an unknown number sent a photo. It was my car, parked outside my apartment. No words. Just the picture. I reported it to the police, recounting Halloween night. No direct threat, they said. No investigation. Typical. Driven by curiosity, I returned to that house. A man in his 40s answered, confused. No break-in had occurred. His ignorance confirmed my suspicions. The undercover cop story was a lie. This was something deeper. They knew my number, my address. Was it not random? Were they watching me, planning something foiled by my weapon? The paranoia lingered, prompting therapy and a ring camera. It took time, but I started to feel safe again. 2 years later, no more calls, no more photos. I still think of that night. Writing helps to move on. Always watch your surroundings. You never know who's watching. Stay safe and protected. Being armed saved our lives. This happened when I was 12. For Halloween, my family opted for a small resort, an hour from home. My parents wanted a different kind of celebration. The resort hosted a Halloween weekend, full of activities and a haunted hayride. It was small, 10 cabins, a lodge, a lake, and a field, all surrounded by dark woods. Peaceful by day. But once dusk fell, the woods turned menacingly black, and the resort felt eerily quiet, a hint of unsettling stillness. Checking in early, the cabin air smelled of campfire and candy apples. Kids in costumes ran about, eager for fun. Parents unpacked, I dashed off to play games. Ring toss, costume contest, pumpkin carving. The area glowed with orange lights. I met Ryan, another kid my age, dressed as a skeleton. We played games, collecting a good amount of candy. Around 7, families gathered for the hayride. A tractor pulled a wagon lined with hay bales, ready for passengers. The driver wore a scarecrow mask. Workers, dressed as zombies, would jump out, creating screams and laughter throughout the ride. The ride began fun, torches lighting the dirt path through dark woods. Costumed figures startled us, eliciting screams and then more laughter. Halfway through, something shifted. The tractor slowed in a darker trail section. I looked towards the wood's edge. There, just outside the torchlight, stood a man. He wasn't part of the hayride, not in theme. Black jacket, jeans, baseball cap pulled low. He just stood there, unmoving, hands in pockets. Only watching. I felt his eyes lock on me, though his face was shadowed. I looked around. No one else seemed to notice. When I looked back, he was still there, same position. The rest of the ride, he was in my thoughts. After the hayride, I looked back at the woods. He was gone. I dismissed it as imagination for now. We returned to the lodge for more games and food. My parents by the bonfire, Ryan and I collecting candy. An hour later, I saw him again. Near the tree line, 30 feet away, standing alone, watching the crowd. My stomach tightened. He was looking in my direction. I tried to discern his face. A short beard, a hat with a logo. I nudged Ryan, telling him about the man. Maybe he's a worker or a dad, Ryan shrugged. But he wasn't talking to anyone, just watching. Minutes later, I checked again. He was gone. The mystery deepened, a knot forming in my gut. Around 9, with most little kids gone, Ryan and I, still energetic, decided on a walk. We chose a trail behind the cabins, leading into the woods for a final Halloween scare. With flashlights in hand, we ventured onto the dirt path, laughing, daring each other deeper. The farther we went, the quieter it got. Resort sounds faded, replaced by our shoes on the path. About 200 feet in, we stopped at a clearing. An old wooden sign marked it, private property. We started throwing small rocks at the sign, pretending to summon ghosts when we both heard it. Footsteps. Heavy, slow footsteps, coming from deeper on the path behind us. We froze, turning around. Probably another kid, Ryan whispered, but the footsteps had weight like an adult. I shone my light down the path. A voice broke the stillness. "Hey there, boys." A man's voice. Calm, yet deeply intimidating. Ryan and I exchanged a look. It was him. The man from the hayride. Fear seized us both. He stepped into the light. Same black jacket and hat. "What are you two doing out here? You like candy?" He pulled out a Reese's cup. "I got a bunch more in my cabin. Come on, I'll give you some." Ryan took a step back, his face paling. The man stepped closer, trying to reassure us. "Don't be scared," he said. "It's Halloween. I saw you boys on the hayride earlier."